Okay, so now that we've allowed it to dry and all that, and plus now I finally found the time, I'm going to start sanding it again with 150 grit sandpaper. Now you can find this at any hardware store, and well, I ended up getting big sheets, but you could just cut them in half like I did. So I'm just going to get started. Let me just get this guy rolled over. I'm going to go for the easy one first, which would be this, because not too much detail to work around. And from what I've been told, the best way to do it is to just do circular motions, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Just do circular motion. Just enough to kind of make the lines show, so I've been told, but I don't know, we'll see how that ends up. Kind of sounds like you're playing with plastic, doesn't it? I mean, technically it is, but it kind of feels like someone's goofing around, just, pawing a bunch of plastic stuff, like when my cat decides to do his little paw thing, just going like on the windows. Okay, I'm starting to see that, so that's a good thing. Okay, just get a little in there. Again, I'm doing this lightly because I don't want to dig deep. That'd be a bad move. Just enough to make some of the lines show. Might as well cover here as well. I mean, couldn't help. It couldn't hurt, because this stuff I'll put Bondo on later. No, I'm actually quite impressed with how this goes. Let's keep doing it. Yeah, you really are kind of starting to see that. Boy, you really do need to dust this stuff off. Look at that. Well, I'll try to do a dry dust later. When I'm done here. Try and get a corner up in there. Obvious reasons why I need to try to do what I can here. Hang on. With these flat edges here, I think I better just kind of go with just a flat move rather than a circular motion, because that's kind of impossible to do at this point. Okay. I'm just going to stop this for a minute, and then I'll go get a paper towel to wipe this off. Okay, I'm back. I brought several paper towels. See if we can get some of this off. Boy, look at that. Get a good layer off of that. Let's give it a little bit of a blow here. Give it a little pass here. See what we get. A little less, not bad. I guess this is just inevitable. I'm going to keep going until I'm pretty sure I don't get much out of it, Like I said, I don't know how well this is going to work, but yeah, we're just learning together, folks. That's all we're doing. We're just learning together. Looks like when I did the edges, the primer just kind of came off. Oh, well. I guess that was just bound to happen. Well, certainly a lot less. In fact, I'm not even sure if I see any at all. That's good. That's good. It's real good. Well, as you can see with the dust off, you could see, hang on, maybe you can't, I don't know, but, oh, there we go, yeah. You can see more of those layer lines, as they're called. The idea, of course, is, like I said, we want to fill those in, so I'm just going to get those areas that I missed. Turn that over a minute here. I would recommend at this point, just because you definitely want to wipe up that dust, or else you're going to have a hard time trying to fill all this in, because let's get real. You want this to fill in, and, you know, to fill it with dust, that's bound to be a bad idea, so. Because, let's get real, I mean, dust, it flakes off. You don't want that, so. I mean, if you want that, then okay, that's your business. But I don't, so. Okay. I think that's got it. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, looking better already. Now there may be some areas that I might not necessarily get 100%. Again, it's the first time I ever tried something like this. And, you know, I think if I try too hard to, you know, really get all those layer lines to show, I got a feeling I'm going to have a problem. Besides, I'm no expert on 3D prints. In fact, what am I saying? I don't know diddly. I would imagine that if I try that hard, there's no telling what could happen. It could be a huge disaster. It could scratch it, theoretically. And I've been told that if you don't watch it, you really could do it. So, besides, you know, that's the point of adding more layers, right? Just to fill all that junk in. All right. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely seeing layer lines, and it's looking pretty good, I think. So, up next, we're going to move on to the most important one of all, the big detail. Now, before we do that, I better take a minute and grab some more. Okay, I'm back. Now, I got a lot more paper towels, and this one, I'm definitely going to have to be extremely careful around certain detail areas, and I think you could see why. Now, let's see. I guess the best way to go at the moment would be to just dive in and start with some basic parts. You know, I think I better trim this down a little first. Let's cut a few small squares out of this. Couldn't hurt. Again, still 150 grit, so circular motion. I'm kind of varying as to how I do this. I've been going clockwise, but I'm going to throw a little counterclockwise to see if I can get some more results out of it, because, you know, you never can tell. It wouldn't be a bad idea to make double sure that you're covering a lot more ground. At the edges, I'm going to do a little bit of this, because I can't see how I can do, you know, a good circular motion. Okay. Yeah, you can already see some of the paint flaking off there, so to speak. So that's a good sign, I think. Yeah, I'll do it just a light pass here. Again, probably not recommended, but I'm going as careful as I can. And in areas like this, I just don't think I could do a good circular motion. But I'm certainly going to try here and there. Okay, light ridge there. Now, I'm only just going with the flow here. I mean, this seems logical to try and go with the flow. And I would imagine there's no set rule as to where you want to start or how you want to do it. So, you know, I'm just going with the flow, just starting where I feel like doing. Because, you know, obviously, I got to cover these details, very important. I definitely need to cover certain areas like the tusks. The mouth is the one I'm worried about the most, because one, that looks so good right now, and I kind of hesitate to mess with that. And it looks like the lines are actually kind of filled in, actually. Let me take another look at that. Well, maybe, yeah, there we go. You could barely see the lines, so I kind of hesitate to mess with that. But we want to do it right, so. All right, let's take a minute and dust this off. And get some of this excess off here. I definitely want to do that. We don't want to give any false impressions that we got the job done when we didn't, right? And we definitely don't want that dust lingering around on there to cause trouble. Like I said, if it makes clumps or something, who knows what'll happen. Okay, I'm going to switch to a different piece here. All right, so far it's doing pretty good. So just a little more scrapage. Sorry, sandage. Okay, now these areas here, I don't know if I can necessarily do circles, but I'm going to try. In here, I have my doubts, so I'll just do the best I can with what I got. Okay, those edges, I'm going to have to just drag it along. I don't like it, but I have to. I mean, these areas are too thin to do circles, you know, as I'm sure you could tell. Okay, a little bit of that. A little bit of that. I'm going slow, going slow. The key thing, folks, is to take our time with this. We don't want to mess this up. You know, while I'm at it, I'll get this top area, too. Change corners a little. There we go. Okay, get this corner piece here. Oh, yeah, I better get the other one too. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Okay, let's dust that off again. I'm using the same old one because you know, I think this would be good for at least a couple more goes. You know, try and get some of that excess off of here. Yeah. All right, I'll throw that one away. All right, and let's see, how about we go for a different one here and get this piece. Oh, yeah. See, that's important. I missed a part here. Yeah, see what I mean? They're kind of gathered up in clumps there. You definitely don't want that. There we go. That's a lot better. Piece of paper towel. Okay. I might try to take a vacuum cleaner of this later, you know that, just in case. Because, I don't know, something seems to be kind of sticking there. I don't know if it's paper towel or what, but, well, I got to try and dust it off somehow, so, maybe I better trim that down just a skosh more. Fold it over. Yeah, there we go, that's much better. Okay. Get that inner edge. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Just try and get that upper lip in there. Let's put a little bit of... Yeah, let me find a kind of a smaller piece here, and I'll go lightly over this one. There we go, that's more like it. I'm trying to do little circles, but it's proven to be a little difficult, so I'll just do the best I can. And I'm going real light on this part because with the lips, they're perfect. I don't want to mess that up. Yeah, we're seeing some lines. That's good. So, okay. I think I'm actually quite satisfied with that, you know, because you don't want to really mess this up, because if you do, we're going to have some problems, and I definitely want to avoid as many problems as I possibly can. Okay, so we're just going to move on to the tusks. Get that over a little. Oh, better get that upper part. Okay, and get that inner upper part. Get that corner piece, good for me. Okay, move on to the next tusk. You noticed I did kind of get the under part earlier, but I might as well just make sure I got everything. Okay, get that upper there. Okay, get that little dust off. Okay. Looking pretty good so far. I mean, it's doing just what I want it to do. A little bit more here. There we go. Okay, we're making some progress. Okay, now let's work on the trunk a little. With this one, I'm not sure if I can get into those crevices, so I'm not going to worry about it. The edges there. And my finger under that. There we go. Okay, you can see things have gotten a little lighter here. on that tough ridge there. It's a little bit on the lines, but that's okay. Okay, let's do a little bit more here. Alright, dust that off well. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. Okay, I'll throw that out. Let's move on to a different area. Let's see, how about the upper parts of the tusk. Do that. Maybe I better go for another one right now. So I'm just going to cut this. Switch that over. Okay, so start here. Okay, that's looking pretty good. While I'm at it, I'm going to get up in here. Okay, dust that off. Okay. All right, yeah, that's looking pretty nice, actually. All right, let's see. Well, we've got to get into this area. I'm hoping that I don't end up accidentally filling in the little spots there, but well, I'm going to have to try sometime, so here we go. I'm going to go for a bigger piece on this one. I'll do it, but I'll do it lightly. There the old saying, you want it done right, well, there you go. I mean, I want it done right, so... And I definitely want to get this job done the way I want it to, because sooner or later I'm going to wear this baby. Who knows? Maybe you'll see me as the Black Ranger one of these days. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Alright. Okay, let's dust that off. Nice little scuff. Lines don't appear to be filled in. I like that very much. And same here. Got my sandy sponge just in case I may need it. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to find any of a different variety, just 80 grit, so I hesitate to do that. Maybe I'll just do it for these parts here alone. I don't know. Let's do the front. I'm avoiding the eye at the moment because I want to use a smaller piece for that, but I'm sure you already figured that out. Over a minute here. Yeah, that ridge there, I want to try to do a little bit of that. And it. Okay. Now I'll just dust it off again. Let's see, the uppers are not filled in with dust, which is what I want, because I want this to show for me a little bit later, because when I paint them, that's going to be important. So anyway, let's see, we got that. Okay, the inners are looking pretty good there. I'm going to dust this off one more time with a clean one here, and make sure I don't miss anything, very important. Looking good. Alright, now... let's work on those eyeballs. First I'm going to gently go over this part again. Okay. And right here again, for me. Let's try and get those under parts. You know, maybe I better leave the eyes alone, because the detail in them is pretty good. Or I'll just do a light pass, just a real light one, okay? Just a light one like this. Yeah, let's just do a light one, because I don't want to chance it with this. Call me chicken if you want, but, you know, when you pay money for something like this, and you don't want to screw up, especially after all the hard work you're putting into it, well, you do the same thing, too. You learn to be a little hesitant. All right, I'm going to use this for these little crevices here. So, I'm just going to go real light on this. have to blow this one out, I think. A little ridge up here I gotta get. Okay, much better. Now, let's see. I don't see anything filled in from the dust. That's real good. Gonna give it another pass here with the clean one here. So, also blow on it a little too. Excuse me. Okay. One more final pass with the paper towel here. All right. Okay, we're looking good. Looking real good. Like I said, I was hesitant to work on that and the ice, but, you know, considering how well the thing turned out there, it's probably best that I just go either very lightly or leave it alone. In this case, I did a little bit of both. Now, whether or not that's a good idea or a bad idea, we're going to find out. So, if anything, just call it another lesson in what you could or could not do. But right now, okay, one more detail. I recently just read that apparently after you sandpaper all this stuff, you got to wash it with some soap and water, or maybe just plain water. I decided to go for just plain water because, well, the soap I got, I don't think I'd try it. But as you can tell, the lines are showing up a lot better now because I did just that. And let's just say as a result, it's a good thing I did that because, again, you're seeing the lines a lot better, which is what we want here. So I'm satisfied with that. I'm quite happy. So let that be a lesson to everybody. After you're finished sanding, first you dust it off, then you wash it off. So, well, that should wrap it up for now. Next time, we're going to move to the garage.